Hi. When you enter the building, you'll find yourself in a cafe, and the coffee will be really cheap. You can buy coffee and you can sit in the cafe and you can read a book. You can look out of the window. There are some tables outside of the window. You can sit inside of the cafe and you can read a book and read a coffee, drink. And there will be music playing from a record player. And maybe there will be some sandwiches. And it will be pretty calm, not high volume, classical music or something. French cafe vibe, maybe some paintings of nature on the walls, some tables outside, and you are allowed to smoke cigarettes outside. You can sit outside or inside, little room inside. And you can sit there and read Alain de Botton if you want. And if you go into the cafe, you'll find yourself in the second room, which is a corridor in between zones of the cafe or whatever you want to call it. And in this corridor there will be some cool, spacey, psychedelic maybe posters on the walls. And here you can sit if you want to sit in between zones of the cafe and work on a computer, for example. And there's not much else there. There's an entrance to the place where the people who work in the cafe are, and there's also an entrance to the building to the private property. And if you keep walking, you will find yourself in the second big room of the cafe, and this room will kind of be like the living room of the cafe. Here you will have a higher volume level. You will have sofas and couches and fauteuils where people sit and chat quietly. Maybe people drink beers or coffee. There will be a bookshelf with many books and board games. You can sit and play a board game if you want. And in this room there's also an entrance to the spiral staircase, which leads up to the concert space on the top floor above the private property. And so in the second big room of the cafe you can sit and play chess, for example, with a friend, and look at people who go up to the spiral staircase and into the concert space, and say hi to your friends that go into the concert space. So if you go up the spiral staircase, you'll find yourself in the little room on the floor above the private property, where the tickets are controlled to the concerts. And if you keep walking into the cafe, you will find yourself in the second big room. And this room is like the cafe office or cafe work space of the cafe. And in this room there are many tables where people can sit and work on their computers. But before you go to this second big room, there's also a staircase down into the hip hop club in the basement, where there's gonna be lots of decorations on the walls, maybe some colored walls or something. But because right now it's just gray and dirty there, so would have to get freshed up. But there you can find people playing with turntables and people playing with microphones and people dancing with dimly lit lights, and nice vibes. And there's a few rooms in the basement, so it can be a nightclub. One room can be a dance room, one room can be a hip-hop room. There can be open mics. So if you go up the spiral staircase, you will find yourself in the little corridor where the tickets are controlled. And if you go up another staircase, you'll find yourself in the attic of the house, which is the concert space, which is a really, really big space with very high roof. And in this room, there's gonna be many lights that are all controlled through a computer so that they can flash in time to the music. And there can be big concerts there. The only room that doesn't exist, that I don't have a plan for, is the loge, the artist lounge, where the artists can practice before their concerts. So maybe you would have to find another house for that, or maybe they would have to practice in their studios and just come to the concert space to perform. But right now there's a little room there which would have to be destroyed, and there would have to be a scene built there